story about Ted Williams. Hit a line drive off of you, and what happened after that?
Well, when I went to spring training in 1948, and I'll make this brief because you've got some Hall of Famers here you need to hear from, but the first day of spring training, I'd had a good year at Savannah, won a lot of ball games, and pitched in Yankee Stadium and lost that. But the first day, they sent the trainer out and said, Mr. Mack wants to speak with you. And I went into the clubhouse, and Mr. Mack ran everybody out and had the trainer close the door and stand outside and not let anyone in. And I want you to think about this and what it can mean to how you approach things. He said, you had a great year last year. I think if the catchers had done a better job, you would have won against the Yankees. I'm not too sure of that, but he said that. And he said, I don't want you to worry about making this ball club. You're going to be with our ball club all year, no matter how you pitch. And all the pressure that you feel just kind of leaves, you know it. And it meant a lot. So his second surprise was 2 days before opening day on Patriots Day in Boston in 1948. Earl Brucker says, Mr. Mack wants you to take the train tomorrow and go up to Boston a day early. You and Marshall and go up and check in and get a good night's rest. You're pitching on the Red Sox against the Red Sox opening day. Well, we did that, and Phil, and I'm getting long-winded here, but there's some things really. When I went to, they said, you stay at the hotel. Well, I couldn't do that. I had to go see what was going on. I went out to the ballpark. I got to the gate, they wouldn't let me in. The guy said, the ball players are here, fella. So I had to send for the club traveling secretary to get me in the ballpark. Halfway to the clubhouse, there's a tremendous roar. And the stands shake, and I wondered, well, something going on. I got to the clubhouse, and it happened again. I walked in the clubhouse and introduced myself to the man there. And it happened again. And about that time, the young fellow who worked in the clubhouse with him walked in and says, guess what? We just hit 3 consecutive home runs off of Phil Marshall. And I said, well, you asked for it, and it looks like you're going to get it. But in that game you mentioned, Williams came up in the 6th inning. He hit a line drive back at me that hit me on the edge of the brace and the side of the knee and bounced out in right field. He ran to first base and stopped. He could have probably gone to second, but he stopped at first. And he walked over to the mound, and I was really, I felt like I was back in that creek bed again. I wasn't sure what the deal was, and I looked up at him and I said, why in the hell don't you pull the ball? Well, I got up and finished that ball game. In July, they came to Philadelphia, and Williams hit one off of me over the light towers in right field. And as he rounded first base, I turned my back to the plate and hollered out at him and said, I didn't mean pull it that far. But I was very fortunate and very lucky to have played in the major leagues and play against some of the people I played against and have the teammates I had, and it was a great experience. I do spend time today with some of the active duty rehab people that come back from Iraq. I go to the hospital and visit with them a little bit, and it's really an experience. As one young Iraqi veteran said to me, they said, Mr. Brissie comes over and visits occasionally with the fellows, and he was in World War II, and he looks at me and says, God, that's awesome. You guys didn't even have body armor. So we each fight our own wars in our own ways, but it's been a great life and a great experience. I've had great good fortune, and every day has been a terrific day. Some are better than others,
Sure.
but there haven't been any bad ones, believe me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lou Brissie. Thank you, Lou, very much.